There are many lies that we are told by business gurus when we first start trying to make money online. You must do sales calls, you must be DMing people or hanging out in Facebook groups. But one of the worst lies we're told is that you must niche down and that the riches are in the niches. And many of you watching this might think that if you're going to do well in life or online or on social media, whatever it is, that you need to understand and niche and zone in on that and you don't. One of the biggest examples we've seen of this recently would be this clip.
If you're a lesbian and you're struggling with certain food cravings when you're on a diet, like these cookies, I'm going to tell you why you should be eating these foods more.
Now, I'm not sure who this woman's business coach is, and they've gone, oh, do you know what? I think you should be your avatar. So therefore, if you're a lesbian, you should only work with lesbians. Fantastic. Great. Maybe there's different calorie amounts in rug munching. I don't know. But why I think this is a terrible idea and terrible advice to anyone that's going to consider this is the solution isn't any different based on sexuality, or I haven't seen any evidence to insinuate that. So niching into something as trivial as that is the same as me going, I've got some great business advice for people that are left-handed. That's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's idiotic, in fact, because there could be plenty of heterosexual women that she could be perfect for. And that's the thing. The majority of people are heterosexual. So she's just cutting down the pool of people that she can do work with to this very small subset based off the insinuation that if she goes niche, they'll do business with her. Like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for, a fat loss coach that is lesbian. Now, niching in some respects can be good, but first of all, we need to understand we don't actually want a niche. What we want to understand is something called an avatar. And an avatar isn't a blue person that you might have seen in the movies online. An avatar is the person in which you're trying to communicate to. You might have noticed this on TV, for instance. If you watch an advert for a Range Rover, even the voice, head down to your local Range Rover dealership to see the new offers that we're doing on the Vogue. They even talk like the person they're trying to attract. Maybe if you're going to go buy a pickup truck, it would be, hello mate, get down to your local dealer and see what 4x4 deals we've got going on for you. Even the voices in which they use. Again, when you look at different colors on websites, it's in line with the avatar which they're going after. You might see more feminine colors when going after women, maybe more masculine colors when going after men, etc. So a lot of our messaging and a lot of our strategy online is about attracting the right people, but it's not about pushing away the wrong people. For instance, I've worked with probably 60-70% women in my life as running a fitness business. That's over 100,000 people through my training app. I never said, if you're a man, don't even bother. I don't train men. If you've got a dick, you're not coming in. I was just talking the language of, hey, if you want to drop a dress size, hey, if you want to feel more confident in the clothes that you used to wear, hey, maybe you put something on this week that didn't fit like you used to fit a couple months ago. I'm talking to a certain avatar, but I'm not excluding people from doing business with me. Similarly to when I'm making videos on YouTube right now, the majority of my audience, personal trainers, fitness businesses, yoga instructors, golf instructors, jiu-jitsu gym owners. But by keeping the topics relevant and kind of broader to other subjects, if you are, a chef that wants to take your business online, I'm not going to say, well, you're not a fitness coach, get out. If anything, I'd say, well, most of what I teach to personal trainers would apply to you. And if anything, your demographic and opportunity online, I think, is far superior to that of a personal trainer. Because in the UK, 16% of people have a gym membership, but guess what percentage of the UK eat? Everyone. Now, when it comes to kind of mastering the art of pushing people away, bringing them in, we really should look at a term called polarization. Now, polarization is something slightly different, which I do 100% lean on when it comes to brand building and generally just creating waves on social media. Although we do want to communicate to the right type of person, and we certainly don't want to push people away for no reason, especially if they're going to be able to make a good impact to our business and we're going to make a good impact to their lives, we should probably tactically find some cohorts of people that we don't want to agree with. For instance, if you're a butcher's, you shouldn't give a flying fuck about the opinions of vegetarians or vegans. Therefore, in the beginning of your content, you could be like, here's a really good barbecue recipe that the vegans are going to lose sleep about. And the vegans would be like, you fucking bastard. But you were never going to sell to them in the first place. The same way that I rip into bodybuilders. I say, cool, if you want to not eat for 6 months and step on stage in fake tan and put on a pair of Speedos to impress another bunch of dudes and not call it gay and call it bodybuilding instead, nice one, brother. And the bodybuilders are like, ugh, what do you know? They say I've got a mid-rig, or they take the piss out of my haircut, whatever. But bodybuilders are never going to join my fitness app. Neither are vegans, neither are any of the people that I call out online. A lot of the intentional controversy and the intentional contrarianism in which I have online is to polarize the right types of people, especially those that are never going to do business with me. I've often said, and I've even put in my books, that if you were to invite me to your family barbecue and they were talking about Formula One, I love cars. I'm a bit of a petrol head. I just don't really like Formula One. And if someone was like, oh, James, you see the Singapore Grand Prix at the weekend, what do you think? I'd go, oh, do you know what, mate? I kind of think Formula One's a bit shit. Now, to the majority of people there, they go, this guy's a knobhead. But there could be 2 or 3 people that go, do you know what, James? Formula One is shit. Do you want a beer? Come here. You can't be vanilla with everyone. You do have to pick your sides, and being a contrarian is one way to get ahead, especially when it comes to positioning your brand. One of the biggest issues that I had that I try and help other people with is, for instance, most personal trainers are crippled with not being able to post content because they're worried about what other personal trainers are going to think. They're the only people that are never going to do business with them. Same with online chefs putting out recipes. Oh no, what are other people in the field going to they're never going to do business with you. I was working with a German in the Discord today who's like the German Ali Abdaal. I said, bro, you should be looking at Ali Abdaal's best titles and thumbnails and making your own versions in German. He goes, yeah, but you get called out for that in Germany. By who, bro? By who? People that are never going to buy your fucking product. Get on with it. So when it comes to connecting with your avatar, you don't just say, hey, if you're between 5'8" and 5'9", you're left-handed and you were born on the island of Guernsey, then I've got a solution for you. That's not how we communicate. We do not niche down to try and get someone to go, oh my God, that's me. The best way you can communicate with someone is to understand their problems. That's what we're doing on social media. This is your biggest lesson you can ever learn. No one gives a fuck about you. Like literally no one gives a flying fuck about you. All they care about is themselves. Sounds harsh, but it's true. The quicker you can understand that, the better. I'm going to say it one more time. No one gives a flying fuck about anything you do. They just care about themselves. But if you can solve someone's problems and continually solve someone's problems, over a while they'll start to like you. But they won't like you for who you are. They'll like you because you solved their problems. You might even watch this video right now and go, James, you're a legend. Oh, James, better looking in real life. But the truth is, if I stopped turning up on a constant basis to solve your problems, we wouldn't have the relationship that we have right now in this video. Everything is about give and take. That's just how humans are. Even people that donate money to charity, they don't really do it because they care about kids in Africa. They do it because it makes them feel better. And they do it because it attributes status to them with their fellow peers in the philanthropic parts of the world. Oh yes, Jordan, you gave $1 million to the kids in Africa. Oh, well done there, sir. Everyone's just doing things to make themselves feel better. Back to the point. When you can understand that people don't give a shit about your workout, what you did, what weight you lost or anything like that, they just care about the information that you have that they might need, the better you can get on with it. And you can start solving their problems. That's what every single piece of social media content is. If you go look at the titles and thumbnails of all the videos in this YouTube video thread on my channel, they're all solving problems with the occasional promotion of some of my products. Got to make a living. That's what content is. It's not a vlog. It's not what you did on a holiday. It's solving problems. And the better you understand your avatar, the better you can solve problems. And after a while, a niche will kind of find itself within that. Now, don't get me wrong. If I get a leak in my bathroom tomorrow and I wake up and I go on Google going, I need a plumber nearby, and 4 come up, and 3 of them are just plumbers, then there's 1 plumber that's a specialist in leaky bathrooms, sure. I'm probably going to pay him, even if he's a little bit more. Or her, could be a female plumber, don't be a bigot. But ultimately, you'd have to be pretty daft to learn all of the things you need to learn to be a plumber to then only work on leaky bathrooms. You know what I mean? I had this one guy in the Discord that wanted to help people in Brisbane that were CEOs. I was like, why do they have to be a CEO? They could be a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Marketing Officer. Jesus. They could be a director. They could be on the board. They could be the owner of the business that doesn't necessarily call themselves the Chief Executive Officer. It could be a female that owns her own flipping salon and is making wedge, or a dude that's a bricklayer. All of these people have the disposable income to be perfect as a high achiever that you want to go after, but by making it a CEO and trying to make yourself sound like a cool corporate trainer dude, you've just eradicated so many people that could have been perfect for you. My name's James and I train CEOs. Just changing that to business owner, high functioning adult, whatever it is, you get to tap into such a larger cohort of the same people. You're going after the same people. Again, there was a lady that I was working with. She was saying she wanted to help nurses on night shifts. And I said, okay, as far as the amount of women that are nurses that do night shift, we're looking at a very small amount. And also nurses, they're just trying to survive. They're doing a great job. They don't really get paid enough for the job. So disposable income, spare time, spare energy. You're going after a cohort of people that are just tired and underpaid. The amount of them that are going to be able to afford you for a 12-week program may be minimal. But either way, why not just go after a segment of sleep-deprived women? Bring mothers into it, because the problems that a nurse faces and the problems that a woman postpartum face are very similar. Obviously, not to undermine the implications of certain things that a woman would have to see a female health physio about, maybe a prolapse, blah, 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 whatever. But ultimately, sleep deprivation, prioritizing other people over yourself, the solutions are very much the same in empathetic training program, not smashing the shit out of someone, making sure that you give them slow, steady deficits or training progressions, whatever. But by going after nurses, again, the amount of women that are sleep deprived, that need to put themselves first, that need to get in better shape, massive. Going after just sleep deprived nurses, you're going after such a small subset, it's just completely moronic. So instead of focusing on niches, you should be focusing on problems. The cohort of people that you want to go after share the same problem. It's not that they're all fucking lesbians, or they all have the same job or the same job title. Because ultimately, eventually, you're going to throw a call to action in front of someone, and they're going to respond on that based on the amount of problems that you've solved for that person. Similar to this video, if this is the first video of mine you've watched, and I go, hey guys, there's links in the descriptions and there's a Black Friday, you're like, mate, you haven't solved enough of my problems. But if you were to watch 10, 15, 20 of these videos over weeks, days, months, whatever, ultimately you go, do you know what? Every time James drops a video, he solves one of my problems. Therefore, I'm probably going to take him up on the offer of his email 30 days in 30 ways, or his call, whatever it is, because you're going to do business with the person who understands your problems the best because they have the solutions to them. I don't want to be spoken to you going, are you a 98 kilogram, 6-foot lad that does jiu-jitsu, used to play rugby? And no, I don't want that. I want someone to talk to me on a personal level. And if you can do that to other people, they will respond to your call to actions. They'll give you their email addresses. They'll read your emails. And then eventually they'll move through your sales process to the point that they end up doing business with you. And quickly on that, even though this isn't the video, stop being so bland. If you want to niche down, do it with your squeezes, your lead magnets, not with your brand. I help men between 39 and 42. Instead, if you want a niche, do it on your lead magnet. One of the best ones that I think I shared with someone the other day was, if you said, if you're someone that wants to go for a leisurely jog with your top off, but you feel too insecure about how you look shirtless, do this. Because that's what the times I've been happiest in my physique, I've gone for topless runs. And all the other times that I've not been happy in my physique, I couldn't imagine anything worse. If I was to see that, I'd go, this person knows me and understands me. One of the first hooks that captured me as a personal trainer to join the first course that I went to, I remember it vividly. It said, are you overworked, underpaid, tired, and frustrated? Now that didn't have to just mean a personal trainer. That could apply to so many businesses. As soon as I saw that, boom, this person knows my problems, became a client. So many people think they need to niche down and have a niche, and you don't. You need to be very good at problem solving, and ultimately you're going to have a skill set. Work to the problems you solve the best. Again, you only need like 30 or 40 people to do business with you for you to make a lot of money. And that is why niching too much can keep you poor. Again, I don't know what YouTube puts here, but it thinks, and YouTube's a pretty smart bugger, that if you watch that you'll become even more of a smart bugger. So that's going to be there. Feel free to click that. And again, there are going to be 3 links in the description. And yeah, if I've solved enough of your problems, click them, brother. And if not, then just watch the next video, or don't. I'm not your dad.